The Norm Taylor Award is the highest award IDA confers on an individual. Norm Taylor was my predecessor back in the 70s, and he was really known for treating people with respect and humility. Our newest Norm Taylor, our newest Norm, began his career pursuing an electrical engineering degree at Penn State. He's still very much a proud Nittany Lion. Then he joined the York division of Borg Warner. In 1976, his first assignment at York was to run service in Asia as regional service manager, and soon was the worldwide troubleshooter for York, running projects both in the Middle East and Latin America. In 1982, he changed horses, joined an oil company, Atlantic Richfield, where he worked literally offshore on the rigs, where he'd be 30 days off, traveling from the East Coast to Jakarta, Indonesia, every year. And he did that for a number of years. In 1990, he returned to York via Frick, where he supported industrial refrigeration and later managed the absorption products division. In 1995, he became the Director of Quality Assurance and Product Service for York International, and in 2003 formed the first international group for industrial systems, which included really all the big chiller equipment and thermally driven equipment. Now that wasn't enough. In 2007, he wanted sort of a change of pace, and so he went to Manhattan and ran the service business for Johnson Controls in Manhattan, talking about going from the frying pan into the fire. He loved the pace of the Big Apple, was there for 5 years, and then returned to York headquarters in PA as the Director of Global Industrial Chillers. In 2016, he was named an Engineering Fellow at JCI, and only just retired officially this past March 31st. But in our industry, if you had a question about chillers or industrial refrigeration, the answer was, just call Joe. That was the answer. He's taught me more than you can believe. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know. Joe Brillhart has been an active member of IDA for nearly 30 years. He served on your board of directors and on the executive committee and was chair in 2012 and 13. And during his tenure, he traveled extensively on your behalf across the Middle East and frankly around the world, helping to expand our international footprint and making a difference in the district cooling market. Now you can learn a lot about a person when you spend time traveling with them. It really does sort of I think, show their true character. And Joe and I spent nearly 2 weeks traveling together in the Middle East. We visited Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Riyadh, Amman, and Doha. And it really wasn't, it was kind of rigorous. We had a very busy schedule, incessant heat, dust, and sometimes some confusion. In fact, there were places where we were welcomed by machine guns and frankly, some pretty stiff security. But throughout all that, we even survived an earthquake, literally an earthquake when we were in Saudi Arabia. And throughout all that, I can tell you, I would do it again with Joe Brillhart. He has a boundless enthusiasm and really a deep well of compassion and a sense of humor. For as long as I've known him, he's had a personally deeply held commitment to energy efficiency and resource preservation. He's made an indelible mark on our industry during his career, and with his professionalism, his curiosity, his willingness to do and live the John Gray theme of live simply, give more, and expect less. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing our newest Norm Taylor, Mr. Joe Brillhart, formerly of JCI and always of IDA. Joe and Christine, Joe, please come forward.
I told Rob, first of all, my expression was wow, And I really, Rob, thank you so much for the kind words. IDEA means so much to me, so this award is extremely special. I'm nearly speechless. Nearly. Most of you know me a little better than that. I had a little bit of time to reflect on this, unlike the Academy Awards, and after I got over the initial shock and the elation of getting the award itself, it really occurred to me that most of the previous recipients of this award have been industry giants that I've admired and I've looked up to for so many years. I only say most because there are a few that I never met, and I did look at the list, and I think it came out to just about 70% of the folks that are on that list I had the pleasure of knowing and learning from them, and a lot of them I'm still learning from. I'm really humbled to be grouped in the same league with the folks I consider to be really the Jedi Masters of district energy. And I will do my best to uphold that standard that those great individuals have set. IDA has been a part of my extended family for, Rob said 30 years. I don't know if it was that many, but it sure didn't seem that many. I've met people from 6 of the 7 continents here, and I don't think I've met anyone from Antarctica, but if I have, please come forward. Everybody here has always welcomed me with kind smiles, warm hugs, and shared their knowledge and wisdom without reservation. I cherish those relationships. I never would have achieved most of the things that I set out to do in my career if it had not been for IDEA, and I really mean that. If the world community would behave like this community, what a wonderful world we'd live in, wouldn't we? I got a debt of gratitude to all of you, and I'd love to call out so many names here, but I know I'll get the hook and the music will start, and I don't want to end like that. So I just want to say thank you really to Rob and the staff here that have just been enormously helpful to me, and they give just freely. And a lot of the folks that I really wanted to thank have already been thanked so many times tonight, but they still deserve more. I have to also thank my wife, my lovely wife, Chris, who finally came to one of these things. And she right away, she won the money. And, you know, she put up with my travel and a few missed holidays, especially we used to kind of miss Valentine's Day. And I have 3 lovely daughters. They allowed me to miss their sporting events and their recitals many times and never mentioned it. And the last group that I have to thank are my colleagues and managers at JCI in York for being a great team, putting our customers first, and always supporting me and IDEA involvement, both financially and morally. Chris and I are already thinking about Vancouver, and Baltimore is 40 minutes from my house. So last time I got a lifetime award, which they tell me includes registration, so I think I can probably afford to keep coming to these things, and I really, really appreciate everything you've always done for me. Thanks again, God bless, and safe travels home.